volante.
So Dave, is this the new Vanquish here?
This is the new one right here.
Look at that thing down there.
Yeah, it's all in the front too.
Birder, I'm not sure I like the front with all this stuff.
I find that just really.
Look at those headlights.
Yeah, it's that new LED.
I'm not so sure yours has not even gone up in more value.
Now look here.
The asymmetry, the race that you can't actually see. It's all of those little things that you know, just
You've
seen all the cars everywhere. It's like,
and we went through the shop and you see where they beat out the.
Yeah,
you can only imagine, you know.
It's great.
It's great.
Absolutely brilliant. I know, yeah, you know, it's like, I thought I'd run this side.
Hey, you lost your eyesight.
Yeah, no, I'm 45 now. No. It belongs in Frankfurt.
Look, he got everyone.
So yeah, this is under the bonnet.
I mean,
signed by.
Yeah. Does it ever leave?
Yeah. So he come in. No, he transported here. He had driven home.
What's he doing here?
Service. Yeah. No, every 12 months. Yeah, because it doesn't really matter. It didn't mean that. I think he went out once or twice last year. You'll understand what it's all about.
Hey Dave, can you get one of these? Why don't you get one of these, Dave?
Oh my gosh, look at this.
No, where do you get those, Vinnie?
Hey?
Where can you get that gas cap?
We do it here, yeah.
You actually do that here? It's like
We'll take it off.
I'm taken.
We got to get a picture here.
Yeah.
Vinnie. Thank you. It's videoing right now.
Yeah, I'm videoing and
So what should we say?
and capturing too.
Okay, for capturing sake.
What's the greatest car ever built?
Vanquish.
There we go.
Yes, original. Number 2.
I was at this image when I joined them, cows and girders coming in at one end and cars coming out at the other. Fantastic icons, you know, you can here see one of the final edition of the Mons, but that was okay. Aston was doing maybe about 600 cars a year, but there was a guy called Bob Dover, who I worked with, Jaguar, who recently joined Aston Martin as CEO. And Bob had this vision that he knew that Aston had to keep moving forward. And with Walter Hayes and the DB7, that had taken a big step forward. But the V car was going to run out of compliance. We weren't selling it in America because it wasn't crash compliant. It was going to run out of emissions compliance. So for the Halo car, we needed something else. So Bob commissioned a concept car. It still exists. You've seen it up in the showroom. Project Vantage. Designed by our boss, Mr. Ian Callum, who at that point was at TWR. Ian, who had designed the DB7, at this point was still thinking about DB7 Vantage. But back in '97, this car was created. Beautiful looking car. I mean, it really just stole the show when it went over to Detroit in 1998. There is a story that it nearly didn't make it. It was boxed up in a container and it was stuck in customs. And John Muirhead, who still works with us, who was head of marketing, was trying to find this thing. It's a bit like the end of that Indiana Jones film. You see the one where there's all those crates? Imagine one of those had this car in it and you couldn't find it. But I think you'd agree, you know, that Ian really hit the mark with this. So that probably was the beginning, but how did that design come about? Well, there's the maestro himself. There's a very grainy image that I've managed to find and scan in. That's Ian with the original clay. There's his sketch. This came a little bit later on in the project, but to me that's one of the iconic views of Vanquish. And these, Ian could drill the car in about 4 lines. He's got the sweep over the top, the front fender and going into the door. This line here, particularly, not quite make it out of this image, the roll down into the door, and then this flash, this streak that goes at the sill. That's Ian's skill, that's the magic of how he created the shape. And here's the clay. I think this is probably somewhere down. I don't think that's Vauxhall. It might be. It sort of looks a little bit like that, but there's the original clay for Project Vantage. You can see some of the subtle differences around the front, the light treatment, the wing mirrors. I think that's sitting on V8 Vantage wheels, and another view there. So I think we also knew at that point we were onto a winner here with the car, but it was still a concept, and the car was shown all around. I think this is Pebble Beach, but fantastic looking car. Because you can't just look at the outside of the car, you've got to look at the interior, and this is a really interesting shot because this is the original interior for AMB03, and you can see some quite marked differences, particularly at that point it had round airbags, and that was probably about to 1999, back end of 99, maybe year 2000. A lot of the Vinnie bits came in around the centre console area. You can see some lights that never made it. The grab handles did. Some of the switchgear got moved around. The instrument pack there is a sort of concept version, but later matured into a different look. But you can see how the style was starting to develop. Part of the design process is actually cutting a hard model of the car, and this is it. We only cut a half model, times for half. We couldn't cut the complete car, so we cut a Uriel model. This proves out the surfaces of the car, shows exactly all those line lines, and then I did a bit of a trick as I stitched it together on the PowerPoint, mirrored it over, and that's what the back end of the car, that's what the car would look like. Again, you can see something that didn't make it into production, the rear lamps. So at that point, they had a very dominant circular feel with a cover plate on top. They later disappeared. We'll come back to that story. But that really was the story of design. Ian's magic, wonderful looking car, and right from the start we knew we had a winner. But the question is, how do you turn that design? But more importantly, how does Aston Martin move its technology story on? Because, let's be honest, the technology of the V8s at that point was old technology, not new technology. So it was, in Vanquish, the start of what is now we call VH architecture, what we do now at Gable. This car is the forerunner of that. So there's a very, very early image here of some of the concepts, because Aston at the time had a very, very small engineering team. And David King and the team at the time were thinking very much about DB7 Vantage. And there wasn't a lot of people to think about this project. So Bob and the then project manager was a guy called Jeff Key before I came on board, were looking around for engineering consultancies to go away and engineer the car. And this is some of the concept sketches. This car at that point actually has a front subframe of a D.
Here, Ulrich's car. Okay.
It was perfect banquet.
Okay, really, right next to him. There. I got it.
You stand and shoot it.